Let me do that problem real quick in case you... I'm going to make those X's because I don't like Z's. So it's just a factoring problem basically, right? Just factor and cancel. 90% of you got it. I don't know if it's really the best use of time for me to even do it, but I'll do it quick. All right, so there it is. It's a factoring problem. Well, I don't know if it's on the screen for you yet. It's coming soon. So factor x plus 7, x plus 7. The bottom is x plus 8, x minus 8. There's still nothing on the screen, huh? Maybe that'll help. I'm doing the problem right now. Here it comes. Okay, so there. All right, so I factored the top, x plus 7 with the FOIL thing, right? Because those are the two numbers that multiply to be 49. 7 times 7 is 49. They add to be 14. And the bottom, x squared minus 64 is x plus 8, x minus 8. I think you know. These two, let's just take out a GCF. All right, then we just cancel, huh? X plus 7, x plus 7, x plus 8, x plus 8. Well, what are we left with? X and x plus 7 on the top and x minus 8 on the bottom. And that was the answer. All's well? Yeah. All right. We need to go to other things. Chapter 5. There it is. Oh, actually, let me... End of chapter 5.2 is kind of tough stuff. So let's go there. So it's good that if you did well in that exam, which almost everyone did, that's great. Because we'll use that stuff now. We'll use that factoring in what we're doing. And you can factor well. So that'll be half the battle. Okay, so I laid out some steps last time, and you remember them all perfectly, right?
Oh, sure.
So let me lay them out again, just in case. How did I do it? I kind of make it up different every time. Oh, I gave a step 0, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, I'm remembering what I did last time. So I gave a step 0, which said never subtract. Never subtract. Right, we know that whole thing. Step 1, then I said factor denominators. That's right, factor denominators, which is going to be that guy, huh? We're going to have to factor. He's going to be the first thing we do, which is, yeah, exactly what that last exam was on. Factor denominator, multiply top and bottom by whatever's missing. Remember that? Comparing to your neighbors, what they have, you don't have. Multiply by what's missing. Step 3, multiply out the top. Only the top, not the bottom. Remember, we stop messing with the bottom as soon as we have a common denominator. We don't do anything more with the bottom. But the top, we do turn our attention to the top. Multiply out the top. And try, last step is try to factor the top and cancel if you can. Okay, so let's go through those steps. So never subtract. Well, we don't have any subtraction here. Not a problem for us. If we'll have some in other problems and we'll do something about it. You know, we distribute to the upper right. Anyway, we don't have that here. Let's go to step 1. Factor denom. Well, that'd be this guy right here. V squared minus 16 needs to be factored. You know how to factor V squared minus 16. V plus 4 and V minus 4, exactly. So that's why we spent that whole chapter getting good at, chapter 4, getting good at factoring, because we'll need it now. Okay, nothing else changes, right? Just the one in the middle changed as we factored it, didn't mess with anything else. I always want to point out Roberto in the back. He's there. Notice he checks in every now and then, and he's always going to show you the same ways. It's like you come on the perfect days. I mean, this is a messy section. Perfect day to see it. Yeah, so he'll show you. So he's great to help. If you had any trouble in this exam, his hours are back there. He'll show you the same way that I will show you. All right, so now, so that's step 1, factor denominator. Step 2, multiply top and bottom by what's missing. Because remember what the main goal is, make the denominators the same, huh? Whenever we're adding, subtracting fractions, the main thought, if there's one main thought you want to have in your head, it's make the denominators the same. That's the main thing we're trying to do. So how do we do that? Well, we got to give them what they're missing, because they're not all the same right now, are they? So I got to come to this guy and go, okay, you're missing something. You're missing something that your neighbors have. What's he missing? V minus 4. Top and bottom, right? Remember, whenever you bring something new into a problem that wasn't already there, then you got to do it with balance, huh? Top and bottom, so you don't really change anything. You just make it look different. Okay, now the middle guy, he's the neighbor that has it all. He's not missing anything. And then over here, what is this one missing that his neighbors have? The V plus 4, huh? The V plus 4. Like that. Notice with me that we've done it. We've made all three denominators the same, haven't we? They all have a V minus 4, V plus 4. It doesn't matter what order. They all have the same two things, don't they? We've made them the same by giving them what they're missing. Is that good? All right, so we've made them the same. So now, so that's step 2. That was step 2. Make denominators the same, give them what they're missing. Now step 3, multiply out those. And by the way, we're done with the bottoms at this point, huh? Just to kind of help you, because it's a lot of steps, get messy. Let me help you just get the big idea. Once you make those bottoms the same, you don't ever touch them again. The rest of the problem, that will be the denominator. No, in fact, you could just make it one big fraction now. You don't even need 3 of them anymore. And just write one common denominator. You can put them in either order, it doesn't matter. But we don't need to repeat them. They're all the same now. And that's our denominator. We're done with the denominator. Now we just start working with the top. And what do we do with the top? Just multiply out and gather like terms is all that we do on the top. So here we go. So the 3 goes boom and a boom. 3v minus 12. So there's that top. And in the middle, nothing going on there, so I'll just bring down the v plus 5. And the third one over here is going to distribute 2v plus 8. Just like that. Is that all good? To there, just multiplied out those tops. And then we just gather like terms. So what do we got? 3v, this is really 1v here, huh? 3 and 1 is 4. 2 more, 6v. 6v. And then the numbers, what do you got? Minus 12 plus 5. What's that? Minus 7. You use your calculator. I would just take my calculator and go minus 12 plus 5 plus 8, if you need to, you know. 8, or you could go 8 and 5 is 13, minus 12 is 1, huh? However, calculator or by hand, just add them all up. And there it is, we're done. Notice I didn't even do step 4. Usually, 90% of the time, you don't even have to do step 4. Try to factor the top. 6v plus 1, that's not going to factor. Most of the time, you can skip step 4. Actually, we saw a couple last time where we had to do the top at the end, didn't we? But that's rare. So what did we do? We took all 3 of those fractions and put them together into one fraction. We combined them. We added them by making all the denominators the same. Giving them what they're missing. Put them together. Is that good? I don't know if you can read all that. It's created with Docere. I'm cheap. It only, I think it's $40, and they'll remove this. You know, if you buy the product, like I just use it for free. $40. I should probably kick in the $40, so I have this extra room to work when there's not words in the front.
It's see-through.
Yeah, sorta, huh? Sorta. V minus 4, V plus 4. Yeah. All right. We good? Questions on that one? That good? Okay. So we've got 14 CF C squared minus F squared minus C minus F over C plus F. Okay. Yeah, never subtract, right? Let's go and do that step. I called it step 0 because you don't always have to do it. So yeah, never. So remember what you do with the subtraction symbol? It just goes boom and boom. Distribute to the upper right. Subtraction, distribute to the upper right. To the upper right. Yeah, and then it just leaves plus, huh? Because really what you're doing is you're adding a negative. That's the same as subtraction, isn't it? Adding a negative. Right? If I took 7 minus 3, that's the same as 7 plus negative 3. So I'm just putting the negative on the 3. Yeah, anyway, so negative c plus f. Good for step 1 there. So there we go, subtraction distributed to the upper right. We never subtract. It's just so easy to forget that minus sign. So minus sign, subtractions in the middle, distribute to the upper right. Okay. Now, what's the next step? So that's step 0. And then step 1, what do we do? Yeah, factor. Where top or bottom? Denominator. Yeah, just the bottom. I don't care about the top at all. Remember, it's always, you start with the bottom, huh? And once you get the bottom common denominator, then you're done with the bottom and you work with the top. So we start with the bottom. So factor that bottom. Let's go ahead. That c squared minus f squared is factorable, huh? That. So it'd be c minus f, c plus f. Good to there? Just factored that bottom, that's all I did. So that's step 1. Step 2, give them what they're missing, right? Top, bottom, what they're missing, whatever the neighbors have. So how about this first fraction? Is this denominator? It's all about denominator. I mean, what's missing in the denominator? It's all denominator. Is this denominator missing anything that his neighbor has? No, but this guy is. What's this guy missing that he has? He needs the c minus f. So give it to him top and bottom. Always do top and bottom so we're not changing anything. Just making it look different. Set good to there. And then we'll set that equal. And now we can put, now notice the two denominators are identical, aren't they? We made the denominators and we made common denominators. So now we can put them together. We don't need two of them anymore. They're the same on the bottom. So c minus f, c plus f on the bottom there, like that. And then we just combine the stuff on the top. So 14cf, and then here, I'm going to go boom, boom. What do we get? Minus, what I'm doing, I'm foiling this out, right? I got to multiply, I got to foil all this out. Be careful with your signs. Minus c times c, minus c squared, minus c times minus f, plus cf, so he's done. Took him to both. And then the f goes boom and a boom, plus cf, minus, what's that, f squared on that, because plus f times minus f. Can you read all that? Minus f squared. There. We're almost done. So, kind of squeezing it in there. Okay, what's left to do? Just like terms there on the top, really. So, if I can finish it. So, what do we have? It doesn't really matter what order you put those in. So, we got 14 CF, one more CF, and one more CF. That's 16 CF. Tracking with me on that? 14, one more, 16 altogether. And then minus c squared minus f squared. Any order, doesn't really matter. The bottom has not changed. C minus f, c plus f, and we're done. That's the answer. Right there. So I'm not even going to try to factor that top. I mean, that's just a mess. No way. It's not going to factor. So there we go. It's nice when the top doesn't factor. They usually don't. Questions on that? Everybody tracking. So again, when we run over, no, never subtract, distribute to the upper right. Change both the signs in the upper right. And then factor the denominator, give them what they're missing, and then multiply that out and gather like terms on the top. Car.
So you put a 1 upon the CF and 1.
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you put that at?
So the 14, 15, 16. Yeah, they all added up.
Okay.
Yeah. Combined. You're all just CF. Good. Other questions on that one? So what do we got? Let me do it over here. So 4v minus 1 over v squared minus 4v minus 32 minus v minus 5 over v squared minus 16. So we got a minus middle. Yeah?
I have a question about the last one. Why do we write the bottom factored, but then we multiply out the top one?
Yeah. Good question. So, so the bottom, we have to get common denominator. So that's the goal, right? That's the main thing we're doing in all these.
I'm just saying that, like, it's already in that form, so why, like, I'm saying that in the answer, in the final answer, why do we write it out factored? Because, like,
This?
yeah, why don't
Instead of c squared minus f squared?
Yeah.
Yeah, you totally could. It's totally fine if you wanted to multiply this out and write it.
I entered that and it said it was wrong.
C squared minus f squared?
Format. Yeah, when I tried it in the factored out format.
I don't think so. There, yeah. All right. So try that one. Never subtract. Take that minus sign to the upper right. All right, that's the first step. Step 0, never subtract. So boom and boom. And then that just leaves, we're just adding the opposite. We're just making the opposite of everything in the upper right, aren't we? The opposite of v is negative v. The opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. So we're adding the opposite. That's the same thing as subtraction. And that way we won't forget the sign. And then also we factor denoms, huh? So we can just do step 0 and 1 kind of together. So distribute that minus to the upper right. Change all the signs in the upper right. And make it adding. We're adding the opposite. And then factor both denominators. Give you a second to do that. Okay, so what is this one? V, what multiplies to be 32? Yeah, 4 and 8. And remember the sign in the middle always goes on the bigger. Yeah, so yeah, minus 8 plus 4. Either order, as long as the 8's the negative one and the 4's the positive one. Is that good to there? And then the other one, you know quite well, V plus 4. Oops, V minus 4. Like that, good to there. And then give them what they're missing. So top and bottom, give them what they're missing. So the first one, what is the first denominator missing that his neighbors have? Yeah, he's missing the V minus 4. So give it to him top and bottom. And then go to the second denominator. What is this one missing that the other one has? The V minus 8. Like that. See how we've made the two denominators the same? They're exactly the same. Then the two denominators have exactly the same 3 pieces now, don't they? So now we can combine them into one fraction.
I love it when it stops when that's on the first try.
Right, so the denominator is those 3 pieces. Any order, doesn't matter what order you put them in. As long as you have those 3 pieces, any order is fine. And then what do we do with the numerator? Well, we just multiply everything out and gather like terms, right? So I just got to FOIL this out right here. So boom and a boom. What do we get? I hope I have enough room for all this. So 4v squared minus 16v, and then the minus 1 is going to go to both, minus v plus 4. So I FOILed out that first one. That good? And then the second one, now put parentheses here, and then boom, boom, careful with your signs, minus v squared, is that plus 8v, then the plus 5, boom, boom, plus 5v, minus 40. Like that. That good? FOIL both those out, and then just gather up like terms. What like terms do we have? So 4v squared minus really 1v squared. Am I racing ahead of you? Good to there. Four v squared minus 1v squared. That's 3v squared. Good to there. And then, now we got to add up all those plain v terms, don't we? Just use your calculator. I would just run them on my calculator. I would just take negative 16 minus 1 plus 8 plus 5 equals. You know, you just got to combine all those regular v terms. So just minus 16 minus 1 minus 16 minus 1 plus 8 plus 5. So minus 4 v, 13 minus 7, yeah, minus 4v, right? And then 4, what's left? 4 minus 40. 4 minus 40, bless you, is minus 36. 4 minus 40. And then the bottom is unchanged. And that's it? I'm not even going to mess with factoring that top. No way. I don't think.
No.
I would just type it. If I was you doing the homework, I would just try typing it in. If it says no, then maybe try to factor. But
No,
usually the
happy.
tops aren't factorable.
Yeah, that's why I was happy, because the eliminations put it in.
Yeah. Usually the tops are not factorable at the end. We're just done right there. Good on that one. Is that making sense? It's a little messy, but you get the hang of it. Questions I can answer? Are we happy about this? Okay, so 7v over v squared minus 1 plus 2v over 1 minus v minus 7 over v minus 1. Yeah, this is a tough one. So we've got some step 0 issues before we even do the normal stuff. So step 0, remember what we had in step 0? Never subtract, but we also had something else. Maybe I didn't write it. Never subtract, and when, yeah, I probably didn't write this as clearly. When the letter is at the back, well, when the letter, I should say, is subtracted at the back. Subtracted at the back in a denom. I'm only talking about denominator right now. In a denom, then multiply negative 1, top and bottom, turn around the denom.
What was your turnaround rule?
The turnaround rule. I called it the turnaround rule. Yeah, I'm talking about right there. See this one in the middle? See how the letters at the back and the subtraction in the denominator in the middle? We don't want that. We got to turn that around so it matches the other one. So whenever you have the letter subtracted at the back in a denominator. I wouldn't care in the numerator. I'm not even thinking about the numerator. All my focus is denominator, right? Common denominator. So I'm thinking about the denominator, and if the letters at the back, remember how we deal with that? We multiply top and bottom of that fraction by minus 1. Top and bottom, because I'm bringing something new in that wasn't already there. And what happens when I do that? Well, it multiplies, you get minus 1 plus v, which is the same as v minus 1, isn't it? It turned it around effectively. So everybody see what happened there? When you multiply the bottom by minus 1, it turns it around. It makes it v minus 1. And so is that good for that part? You can't have letters subtracted at the back in any denominators. And not only that, we never subtract. So that's going to go up there, and we're going to add a negative 7 instead of subtracting 7. Is that good? So when all is said and done, here's what we'll have. We will have 7v. Oh, and I'm going to factor the v squared minus 1 to be v plus 1. Well, here, let me get a little more room. So I'm going to factor, so 7v over v plus 1, v minus 1. Plus, and this will be minus 2v, this guy will turn around, plus minus 7. Let me stop there for a minute. Everybody see what happened on those steps? So that was really step 0 and step 1, factor denom. I factored that one denominator, the first denominator. All right, are we all observing what happened? So I factored the v squared minus 1, and then in the middle, I made these guys turn around by multiplying by negative 1, made it v minus 1. And it made the top become negative 2v. Multiply top and bottom by negative 1. And then we never subtract, so I move the minus to the upper right, add a negative 7, like that. Good? All is well there? Now can you do the right? So that's the tricky part. That really is. The rest is kind of regular, I think. You do the next step. We're on to the give them what they're missing step. Make those denominators the same. Give you a minute, see if you can do that. Gather those like terms. Good. All right, so come on in here. So, like the one in the middle, what is he missing? He's missing the v plus 1, huh? V plus 1. And this guy, what is he missing? V plus 1. Like that. Is that good? So now all three denominators are the same. We've made the bottoms the same, common denominators. So now we can combine them all, one big fraction. It's just v plus 1, v minus 1 in the denominator. Let's combine all this stuff together. And what do we have? 7v. And then the minus 2v distributes. Remember, we multiply out the top and gather like terms, right? So 7v and then minus 2v squared. Minus 2v. And boom and a boom, minus 7v minus 7. Is Is that good? All right, and then, where are we at? Now we just combine stuff, don't we? So minus, I'll just go to the highest power, I'll bring it up here. So minus 2v squared. And then the plain v's, I can just use calculator or do it by hand. Oh, these cancel, don't they? 7v minus 7v, that's nice. So it's just minus 2v.
So it spells out already.
Minus 7, like that. All over. V plus 1, v minus 1. There we go. I'm not going to try to factor that top. We're done. There it is. How are we doing? Questions I can answer? This seem doable. So this one had the couple extra tricks. Turn around the bottom. So when do we do that again? Whenever the letter is subtracted at the back. You guys see why I'm saying that? What if that was added? What if that was 1 plus v in the bottom? If it was added. I would just turn it around. I don't need a minus 1 to do that. The order of adding never matters, right? Right? Think about numbers. 2 plus 3. Is that different than 3 plus 2? No, it's 5 either way. Who cares? So if they're just added, it's just a visual thing. Don't even let it bother you at all. But if they're subtracted and the letters at the back, you got to turn that around, and that's multiply top and bottom by minus 1. And then, of course, we never subtract.